Hi, this is Shalloway. I'm going to talk to you today about the challenges board. This is part of the Amplio Team Tune-Up 12 Steps to Effective Lean Agile Teams. This workshop basically takes people who started on Agile teams, makes them more effective, and even shows them how to work with 3 to 9 teams together. So I'll be giving links in the presentation map as well for both this workshop and the references. So the workshop's actually based on this book, The Path to Effective Lean Agile Teams, and you can read it. It's online, it's still under development, but it's a good read. What we want to talk about is basically one of the Miro boards. We supply 4 Miro boards in the workshop because it facilitates people learning together in the workshop, but more importantly, it enables you to learn in your workplace. Learning in the workplace is much better than learning in a workshop. So we're going to talk about the challenges board, and it's important to be able to capture ideas in real time. Waiting a day or 2 weeks to take action on challenges causes several problems. First, there's the cost that the challenges accumulates. While you're not working on them, they're still causing you problems. But not taking action inures people to the problem. So having a dynamic cross-team way of tracking challenges and working on them is very important. It's also useful to have templates to both avoid errors and recover from them. So let's actually see how we do this. I'm going to show you the board. Now, when you first come into the board, you'll come up with this. This is the entrance page, and you'll see here on the left there's some commands, and what you want to do is get to where you get frames. Now, in this view, this starts with this little button down here. There's another view that Miro sometimes presents if you come in a different way, and it'll have like more of a hash mark like this. Whatever this is, if you don't see frames on the left, just click whatever is on the bottom left, and voila, there you are. So we're at what's called the start view. I'm going to first talk about the purpose of this board and the instructions. And this is the instructions for the challenges board. So it's intended to be as I'm going to zero in on things as we go, so you can read it a little easier. But this board is intended to be used to identify impediments, see how to eliminate them, see what's in our way from doing so, understanding the cause of the challenges we're having, and identifying the actions that we can take to improve them. Now, this board started out actually as a kind of I'm going to get rid of this so I can create more room here. The board started out as a kind of just an individual board, but what we found was, and that's what this one is here, that you could actually have multiple teams doing it at the same time. And the advantage of this is then teams get to see what other teams' challenges are and how they're working together. But you could also, instead of looking at how teams are having challenges, you could look at how teams working together are having challenges. So that's the third way of doing it. You could also do this as multiple teams with, like, Scrum Masters or team leads coming in and each one doing the board simultaneously. So this is a huge opportunity for collaboration. Okay, so the way this works, I'm going to put this back up here and show the challenges board itself. Again, this is kind of far back, so let's just zoom in a little bit to see these top things here. And they're basically 5 columns. And the first column, each row is something we use, so we have one challenge in one column, another in the next column, etc., etc. In this column, we're going to put challenges we have. For example, I get this by, I left-click it, do Control-C, move the cursor around to where I want, and do Control-V, and it shows up here. Okay, so I could say, well, let's see, one of our challenges is, say, we have too many stories in place. Now, that looks like it's a small thing, but what's interesting, if you zoom in on these and click it, you can expand these and put a lot of information here, however you want, and then just click off of it and it goes back. Now, what I suggest you do as a start is you put a lot of the challenges you have, just focus on writing them down in this column. If somebody else has beat you to it, they put a challenge in first, you could click this, again, the Control-C, move the cursor over here, and then Control-V, and this is just a way of voting, yeah, I got this challenge too, or I've noticed it as well. Okay, Then we come over to the second column. Now you can do this in a free-form way. I'm giving some suggestions, but find out what works best for the team. How can you eliminate these impediments? And then people can put, again, the Control C, move it down here, Control V, and you know, perhaps be aware that we take on more than we should. Okay, and again, you can expand this by clicking off and zooming in until that little, you know, click it in the body, and then this pops up, add more stuff. Typically, it doesn't take that long to go through these. A few 5-10 minutes, get through the challenges, a few minutes to how you can eliminate them. It's worth asking, well, why don't we do this? Because sometimes we don't have the skills to do it. Sometimes it's not the attitude. Sometimes maybe we don't agree. We're trying to collaborate to see what it is. What's the cause of this? And then finally, after some discussion, you can put in the actions you've decided to take. So this gives you a way of working that says these are the challenges, these are what we might do, and it could be we don't know. Okay, so that could be, well, we don't know. That's why we don't eliminate them. We may not know this either. But then we're in this discovery mode. Amplio Teams is designed on the basis that most of the work we're doing is actually fairly, can be fairly clear if you understand the basics of theory of constraints, lean, and flow. So this is trying to set the stage for that. The why is this happening might be we have too much work, we have delays in our workflow, or however that is. This is often useful to have as a long-standing board. In other words, you leave it up, the team can come in at any time, make updates to it, and then once a week or whenever you decide it's worth doing, you have a team meeting coming in and working together on this. So anyway, hope you found that useful. That's basically how to use this board. If you're in the workshop, one of the exercises from lesson 1 is to actually go ahead and set one of these meetings up with your people you coach, and let me know how that goes. Thanks.